All right, we are live. Welcome, everybody. I think the last I saw it was 3 people. Thank you so much for fucking coming. I appreciate that. All right, so today I am here with Triaxe. Say hello, Triaxe.
Hiya.
And we're going to be talking about cryptozoology and the animals, maybe about the animals that we particularly like, or just, in general. We'll see how it goes. We'll see where it goes. But first off, one of the reasons I'm talking to Triaxe about this is because he is working on something on his channel, which description is in the link, where he's going to be doing videos about cryptozoology and the BS.
Or the
So,
mountains of BS.
yes. So if you want to just, say a little bit of something about what's coming up on your channel.
Well, it's going to be a bit of everything. Mostly to start off with, it's going to be cryptozoology. And further along the lines, it's going to be conspiracy theories, anti-science videos. Well, not me against science, but me against anti-science. Stuff about God, flat earth, pretty much every woo-woo topic you can think of.
I still don't get where woo-woo comes from, but maybe somebody will tell me one of these days.
I have no idea either, but it's the most apt description of all that tomfoolery and stupidness.
Maybe it's because they go, woo. I don't know. But and your first one is going to be about
Loch Ness.
nice. That's a very good topic. And do you have any estimation on when it's coming out, or
I'm still researching, doing a
okay.
lot of research for this one.
All right. I definitely want to get you plugged, and then maybe when you do have your video, if you like, you could come back on and we could talk specifically about that topic, about
Definitely.
Loch Ness, because we won't go too much into Loch Ness in here because you're making that video. But I've got some fucking opinions on Loch Ness.
It's a massive. You don't realize it's for such a simple thing. It's such an in-depth subject. There's so many little things that make up the whole, like all the stories, the sightings, the place itself. Everything is a factor in it. So yeah, it's a huge subject.
Well, shit, I figured, just in case he may bring up a couple that I don't know. I know a lot, but, yeah, or I might have forgotten about one or what have you. I brought up the Wikipedia list of them.
Oh, there's tons.
Oh, my God. I had no idea there was that fucking many.
Yeah, I've just got a little picture of monsters in America just for this stream. Just so I've got a little reference sheet of all the little stupid ones from America.
Yeah. It's just crazy. Now, do you have a favorite?
Not really, unless he's my favorite, obviously, because it's from my homeland.
Yeah.
Even though it is Scotland, it's part of the UK and all that. Well,
I think that's why I have so much opinion about it, because it's from my heritage land. Say it, call it that way, since I've ever actually been. But yeah, so yeah, I've always been interested. And now before we go on, let's say hi to everybody. We've got Cyberpunk. Hey, Cyberpunk. Let's see. We got me. You got you. Just Ninja. That's my husband. He probably won't watch the whole thing because he's sitting right the fuck next to me. Why the fuck he's in the chat? But anyways, we got Staggerson Jags. Hello. I think this is your first time watching me. Stream. And then Randy. Hey, Randy. How you doing? You made it only 5:20 a.m. Oh shit, dude. Shit. But I appreciate you stopping by. If you have to bounce out at some point in time, I completely fucking understand. All right. Well, do you have one that you think there's a possibility, even a remote possibility, the most likely to be true?
So far, it's probably the Beast of Bodmin Moor in the UK. Normally, it's been recorded, it's been described, and people have sort of described it as a panther or something like it. And I've got a feeling it might be real, but it's something I've yet to have a look into and actually sort of figure out yet.
I'm looking for it on Wikipedia. I'm not even fucking seeing it. They missed one. Fuck you, Wikipedia.
There's probably tons they've missed because they're either so small or not famous enough, or have never really been televised. Or like with the Beast of Bodmin Moor, it's always been a folk legend or just something snapped in the corner of a picture or something like that. It's never really, it's been in the papers and sometimes it's been in the news, but it disappears for 10, 20 years and then comes back again.
I think I do have heard about it, and it might have been like where we referenced in like a show I watched or something, but I'm pretty sure I have heard stories of a yeah, I have a feline type of creature in Britain.
Yeah,
Which
it's always been shown, but the pictures and any sort of video that I don't think actually there's any video taken of it, but it's normally such low quality images you can't tell whether it's an actual large feline like a panther or a leopard or whatever, or if it's a cat, just a household kitty cat.
Yeah. Actually, come to think of it, I've seen a docu about it. And I remember one of the things that they said is a possibility that it could be real, because it is a possibility that there used to be a lot of people that in Britain that owned these exotic animals and then didn't take care of them, and they got out and stuff.
Yeah, a lot of stately homes in the UK probably had their own like miniature zoos, and if one ever went into disrepair or the owner had to sell up, you never know, one of those animals could have escaped. But a breeding pair that would actually continue that species on would seem a little bit more far-fetched, but it's one of those things because there's never been any real proof of it. It's my I'm not too sure sort of section. That gets into the "I'm not too sure" section.
It is a feasible one though, because I mean it's a feline. It's a cat of some sort. So yeah, that is a probability that could happen because it's actually a realistic animal.
Exactly. A lot of I think a lot of the cryptozoology, a lot of the animals that they say are out there, it's probably just misidentification.
Yeah.
In the most part, like a chupacabra is probably a misidentification identification of a coyote or something of the like.
Yeah, that one video of the chupacabra, it looks like a manged out coyote. It doesn't look like anything different.
It's like the main legend around the chupacabra, or like the depiction of it, came from a woman after she watched Species. It's like that's where we get the sort of modern day imagery of the chupacabra.
Species of all fucking movies. To get some.
It's crazy, but this is where these little things come from. It's basically people wanting to get famous or their 5 minutes of fame.
Yeah, and your brain and your eyes play tricks on you.
Exactly.
And lighting and such.
Exactly. Our brains aren't perfect, especially when it comes to identifying things that are moving at fast paced or at a long distance or in different light levels.
Yeah.
I think that's the main problem with a lot of these creatures, that they are misidentified because of those specific factors.
Plus, most of them are, pretty much legends. So they were created back in a time when people didn't have a lot of information about the world in general.
So I think a lot of the ones in the US are mostly derived from sort of a Native American folk stories and legends and stuff like that, if I remember correctly.
Well, a lot of ours are fucking asinine.
Yeah. Well, like the West Virginia Mothman.
Yeah, Mothman. Mothman irritates the fuck out of me. That is the stupidest fucking one I have. It's worse than Chupacabra. It's fucking just ridiculous. It's some red lights.
Well, basically, there's an actual bird, a heron, if I remember correctly, that actually has. It's a large animal. It can be as tall as a human, it's a stork. Sorry.
Yeah.
I think it's a stalker heron or something like that.
It's like that.
It's a large bird, and when it's standing up to its full height, it can be as tall as a human. Yay, doggo. and that particular bird actually has red markings around its eyes.
Yeah.
So it can be easily misinterpreted for something like that. But yeah, and people, well, a lot of people say when they're shining lights at night, they can see the red eyes. Well, quite a few animals out there do have very reflective eyes, like cats do, and stuff like that. And just a quick look at something, I don't. You're just gonna say, "Oh, yeah, it's red. It looked red." You're not actually gonna, if without a second glance, you're not gonna be able to identify it properly.
I just love the ones that when it comes to the Mothman, some people actually bring UFOs into it.
Oh yeah,
Like it's
they're
a
never
double
far
whammy.
behind.
Yeah, I'm like, it's already ridiculous. And then as much as I believe in UFOs, you're going to slap that the fuck on there too?
Oh yeah, Gone.
Everything isn't fucking UFOs, people. Jesus.
It's the same world of woo. Yeah, it's all interlinked at one point or another. Like, with Bigfoot, he's supposed to be extra dimensional. Yeah, as Stags has probably as Stags probably knows, he's had a few run-ins with that lot. But yeah, it's supposed to be able to switch dimensions, and they're supposed to be ultra intelligent and whatnot. So,
see, the idea of Bigfoot and the Yeti and Abominable Snowman, I can see that as a possibility, a remote possibility, but I can see it as a possibility just because, and most of the sightings are bullshit, because if that is true, they would be mostly living in extremely remote areas. So it would be easy to never fucking see them.
This is part and parcel of my whole cryptozoology sort of series. Is basically I'm trying to take each and every one of these, or the most famous ones, and break them down with the science that we know, like Loch Ness. It's been there's been like fables of it ever since I can't even remember the date now because it's so far back. I think it was let me have a look, AD 565. And that was a story written about a saint. Yeah. Now, if you take that animal, if it was the same animal as we're talking about today, it's either immortal or extremely long lived.
Excessively long.
Yeah, or it's part of a breeding group, or it's basically it will be a native animal to that area, or native animal to that area. So there must be more than one to continue the species. And as I said, from there, breaking it down even more. But so a lot of with most of these things, they can't be just singular animals if they are real. There has to be more than one, unless, as I said, they're incredibly long-lived or immortal. And
which isn't impossible, but the majority of the creatures that actually are sea animals, not land animals. I don't know if there is any actual land animals that live. There might be one, and I can't recall what it is.
The only sea animal that I know that technically is immortal is a jellyfish that can revert its life cycle back to when it was an adolescent. But other than that,
well, there are ones. There are a few, and I can't recall which ones they are. But there are a couple that are known to possibly have lived for 1,000 years. They've estimated.
You've got turtles like the turtle that Darwin saw that died a while back, and that was its lifespan was hundreds of years. Well, 100 years or 100+ years. I'm not entirely sure exact time span. It's a lizard. No, it's not a lizard. It's a reptile, and that some of them can actually have extraordinarily long lives. But with sea animals, I've yet to see any sort of science that would say that these animals can live for hundreds of years yet.
None of them. Usually, it's the ones that already live like in the deep ocean, to where they're already set up to live in an extremely adverse world. and so they're already off than what the normal living creature on the planet is. And there's the what are they called? Are they nematode? Oh, there's something bare. They're these tiny, like more than microscopic little creatures, or that they do live thousands of years, and they can put up with anything. They can live in outer space. They're everywhere, and they can put up with any kind of thing.
The name of the tardigrades.
Yes, those are them.
Yeah, well, because they're very simple creatures.
Yeah,
they're not a complex organism like ourselves.
yeah. Like mammals, I I don't think there's a possibility for a mammal to actually live past, much more than 100 years.
Very unlikely.
Yeah,
we break down far too fast.
Yeah, like you get consciousness, but you don't get to enjoy that consciousness as long.
Well, yeah, this is the thing. Is with a lot of these animals, it's like, some of them are lizards, some of them are reptiles, some of them are God knows what, like Mothman and the like. It's hard to tell. It's like some of them, like there's a few lake monsters that are really just crocodiles.
Yeah.
I can't even, there's one here, I can't remember. I can't even pronounce that. So it's where is this?
I probably know. Is it like in either the northern Americas, like Canada to North America area? Because I know there's a few of them there.
Let me check on this little graph that I've got of all this little state. No, it's I don't even know the states. Let me see if I can.
That's okay. You don't need to know the states. That's fine. That's fine.
I don't even know how to screen share on this anymore. But yeah, it's one of the sort of the sort of mid sort of band states.
Yeah, yeah, and most of those.
It's 1, 2. It's the third state above Texas.
I know the area, but I don't fucking know what state that would be. I don't know. I don't know my geography. Missouri? I don't think it's Missouri. It's Missouri? All right, Missouri.
Or Idaho.
Missouri or Idaho, Ninja says, because he's from that area. He's from Missouri. So, Nebraska? He's thinking that's Nebraska. Anyways, but see, those creatures could be real, but all you got to do is watch that show Monster Fish to know it's just huge fish.
Oh yeah,
that's all it is.
Well, this is a thing a lot of people don't understand. It's like a pike can grow incredibly into fucking huge animals.
Oh, catfish! Holy shit! There's some big ass catfish out there.
Oh, definitely.
Like the size of a goddamn pig.
Well, yeah. It's like some Atlantic salmon can become fucking huge.
Yeah.
It's all the same thing. It's like especially with Nessie, it's the Loch Ness actually has its own population of seal, so it's more likely that people have been seeing seals or a small pod of seals than anything else.
Well, I see. I've heard that, and I still. Well, it was like I saw this documentary on Loch Ness once, where they literally, they actually did, seismography and camera work through for the majority of the loch.
Well, there was it was Operation Deep Scan done in the 1980s,
and there's like nothing there. There's nothing a large creature could fucking eat.
Well, they use sonar, and they I don't know how much of the loch they actually they took readings for, but they came away with 3 blips. Now, that could have been anything from a seal, a shoal of fish, a downed boat, because it is a fish. It's a fishing area. So there's at one point or another there will be boats that would have sunk. So so on and so forth. It could have been just about anything.
But I remember watching the footage and being like, "There's virtually nothing."
No, yeah.
there's barely even any plant life.
Exactly.
There's like some water logs. Like there's nothing. They can't fucking eat anything.
yeah, the loch itself is, yeah, there's no little islands or anything like that. It's just one big strait of water.
Yeah.
You know, and supposedly this animal can come onto land. Now, that's my big bugbear about this whole thing, because if you look at Loch Ness as, you know, they want you, or the locals or the people peddling it, they want you to see a plesiosaur. Now, as far as I can tell, a plesiosaur could not survive on land in any way, shape, or form,
Yeah.
because just its huge bulk would crush it. Yeah, it's just like any sort of majority, like a waterbound animal. It's if it's big enough, it's
Yeah.
not going to be used to hauling that lump onto
No.
land, and if it does, its body's not going to support its own weight.
Yeah, just like kind of like with an insect in our environment can't get over, X amount of size
Mm.
because of the exoskeleton, it'll just crush it. Yeah, it's just like that.
Probably the best analogy is that if you look at beached whales,
Yeah.
they die because their lungs are crushed in the most part.
Yeah, I never actually really thought about why they die.
It's not just because they are air breathers, they can survive without breathing in the water, but
Yeah.
it's mostly because the huge bulk, all that weight pressing down on its lungs, because it has no support structure. Like, its rib cage isn't, it hasn't evolved to take that kind of weight. Well, not that downward pressure.
Yeah.
They've evolved to take the pressure at depth,
Yeah.
but
So the
not the
bone
pressure.
density is low.
Yeah. So yeah, it wouldn't survive, and I would assume it's the same kind of thing for this particular kind of animal, that it wouldn't be able to survive on land, or be very, it wouldn't be doing well if it did.
Mm. Oh.
And not to mention, there's literally no sign of Triaxe or spore, or or a nesting area or anything. And it's the same with the majority of these things. There's no real evidence to them, other than some blurry pictures or folk tales.
Yeah. Plus, if it was able to walk on land, then that would mean the probability that its young would have to, once born, go on land at some point in time.
Hmm.
Then you'd see that as well, because most of those animals, they have to, their young usually spend some time on land. So, I don't know. I've seen and heard about all the hoaxes and people who actually, the most, what was it? I forget which one it was, but it was like the most popular evidence. They, they fessed up that it was a fucking hoax.
Well, looks like the chat, we've got some video problems.
What?
Yeah, I keep on trying to bring up the stream and it says video playback interrupted. Please try again.
Hold on. Are you still watching, Ninja?
I can't even get it. Every time I try to do something on YouTube.
Oh, he's having YouTube problems, period.
I get server error.
Server error? All right, chat. Can you still see and hear us? Let us know.
Yeah, it's fine for stags.
Right.
It's the Illuminati moon juice down of us talking about all this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, they're gonna let out all the fucking secrets, man. They're gonna expose us. We might go down the fucking list and call you all fucking out.
Yeah, too fucking right.
I keep thinking about making a parody of the whole reptilian thing. Because that's shit. You see those videos, the ones that are trying to prove reptilians, all the proof of it, and it's just shitty video quality videos.
Yeah, it's just like what's it? Hillary Clinton was a hologram and all sorts of other bullshit. Yeah, that's just mind-numbingly stupid.
Somebody on my channel actually sent me a link, like, "Oh man, you got to watch this," and it was of course a comment that put into spam. But I'm like, okay, I'll fucking watch it. And it was like this half-hour video with no sound. of just this shitty video quality video that doesn't flow well. Of this odd child, this child that was just born with a few deformities and just looked weird.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ. They didn't even put any goddamn effort.
It's a lot of these. Oh yeah, I'm getting server errors now on YouTube. That's a first.
God damn it.
Cute
YouTube.
monkey though. Must be over just for us in the EU.
Who knows? YouTube just is such a fucking pain in the ass. But anyway, it's not a YouTube bitch fest. We won't do that. Yeah.
But yeah, it's, my main sort of go-to with all of these things is follow the money. Follow the humans' baser instincts for fame and greed. Because every time I keep that in mind, I normally find that these stories are normally made up, or they just want the fame or the money from a news story, or so and so.
Or they're just fucking trolling people.
Well, in what's it? The sort of first reports of most of these creatures were, I would say, they were done for money or for 5 minutes of fame, whereas now it's a bit of everything. It's a bit of trolling. It's a bit of just taking the mick and all sorts of stuff. It's like, nowadays you get less and less of these sightings because camera technology's become so much better as well as cheaper.
Yeah, your phone can like take amazing pictures and video now.
Exactly. I can take fucking amazing videos even my shitty iPhone, but it's just like less and less of them are coming through, and unfortunately more and more CGI is coming into play, but thankfully it's still at a point where I can tell the difference. Because it's like no matter how good an editor you are, you can't put a CGI image into real life and make it look real. There's no way of doing it. There's just too many little tells. There's too many little things that you can see that will give it away.
I've always been disappointed in the UFO videos and pictures.
Oh, I've seen so many of them.
It's like probably about 85% at least are obviously bullshit.
Oh, definitely. The ones I've seen, like, starting back from, back in the day, they've always been either too blurry or shaky. It's handicap sort of stuff. And nowadays, it's all CGI, and it's so obvious, it's unbelievable.
Sometimes not even CGI. Some of it's like, that's a fucking bird.
Oh yeah. That or a helicopter or a plane, but because you don't know how to use a camera, you think it's an alien.
Yeah, it's like the go-to thing nowadays, and it annoys me.
Definitely. It's just like I've never got the whole alien thing with some people. Like, why is it always some country bumpkin that gets probed? I know they're probably a bit sick and tired of like cows and sheep to be getting on with, but there must be better stories than I got probed by an alien.
Oh, which I've expressed my disbelief at. Why the fuck would they do that? Doesn't make any damn sense. Unless they're sexual freaks, why would they do that?
Well, you never know.
They've got to be way more technologically advanced than we are. So there's got to be ways for them to do these tests. If they're testing us to find out about us, which makes sense, that they could do that with the scan. We can scan people. Why couldn't they fucking scan people?
Yeah, I'll be remiss to not mention it, but Oscar Youngnell, I probably butchered his name, and he's probably going to come after me and kill me. But he's got a really good video about how much information you can actually get from poop, and it is quite a lot. You can figure out what people are eating, their health, and so on and so forth.
But you could take a Q-tip and stick it up there to get some poop. You don't need this huge, gigantic schlong-esque.
Well, if you're an alien traveling through deep space for many a year, you want a good probing.
I don't know. Maybe anal sex is a huge fucking thing in space. God only knows. Maybe that's their mouth. Maybe, you know, they think they're actually going in our mouth or something. And like, well,
Well, yeah, this is the thing I never get about alien conspiracy theorists and everything. They've come all this way just to abduct some unknown wanker in the middle of
Yeah.
the field and kill a few cows and put graffiti on those said fields.
Oh, I fucking hate the whole field. I hate crop circles with a goddamn passion. They're cool looking, but that's man-made. Are you fucking kidding me?
They're all fake. There's a group in England, I don't know the actual name of them, but they've actually admitted to creating crop circles. All you need is...
It's easy. I've seen the video on how they do it. It's not hard.
Yeah, all you need is
if you have what's it called? It's a math thing. Starts with the G. I can't think of it. Geometry.
Oh yeah.
If you have geometry knowledge, you can do this.
No, I think it's a bit more simpler. That all you need is a stick, a rope, and a board on your feet.
The planning out of it, you need a little bit. If you want to really do a real nice one, you've got to be able to plan that shit out. And but again, a basic thing you could do a circle. Anybody could do a fucking circle.
Exactly. It's like there's never been one that I don't think has been fake. There was some footage of a field with these white or silver orbs floating about, and you could see the field being flattened. But it's something that I haven't come across again for quite a few years now, and I haven't actually found any kind of information about it either, which is a bit strange.
But here's the question of it: was it immediate? Like everything happened at once?
Yeah, basically, from what I could see of the footage, it was two orbs floating about the place. And while they were flying about, you could see that the ground, something was happening to the ground. But because it was filmed from such a distance, you couldn't see anything of detail.
So they could have just been, in wheat field colored outfits.
Yeah, it could be anything. That's the problem. It
could be green screen.
I think it was a bit. Well, yeah, I think green screens weren't that sort of open to the public at that kind of time, but it was definitely to the point where you could. Well, it was done on home video, like cassette, video recording. But even then, they can be faked if you know how to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always people out there that can find some way to do something really crazy and interesting.
Oh, definitely. And it is going to be one of the subjects I'm going to bring up is the whole aliens thing, because there's so much to it that...
Yeah. That's a subject matter I fucking love.
Well, I have been planning on doing a big-ass live stream with a whole bunch of people to have a massive debate about it. But every time I think about, I'm going to do it, it's just like, no, I've got work or something stupid like that.
Yeah, real life gets in the fucking way.
Oh, definitely. But as I said, with aliens, I think in part it's wishful thinking for people wanting aliens to exist, or at least aliens to come to our planet. But you got to look at it with just a little bit of knowledge that it's going to be very unlikely that aliens are going to come our way. We're in the arse end of nowhere.
Yeah.
For our galaxy.
Well, I'll let you know, since you don't seem to know. I've seen one and have lost time, but I'm still a gigantic skeptic when it comes to all of this. I don't let that jade me into just like, oh yeah, it's fucking real. So yeah, I believe it. No, most of it's fucking bullshit. I do believe something is happening, and maybe it isn't even fucking aliens. No, but some people are seeing things, but who knows what the fuck it is.
Well, I've never seen anything that I haven't been able to explain in some form or another. Like, I had a friend of mine that kept on saying that he saw an alien, every couple of nights? And it just turned out to be the ISS. Yeah, it's like it's not hard to track it if you know how and where it's going to be at what time. But just simple things like these make people believe in aliens or other stupid things.
Yeah, you have to take it all with a grain of salt. And
exactly, this same friend also thought an alien invasion was happening because of the Perseid meteor shower.
So,
no, Lionid, sorry, meteor shower.
No offense to your friend, but
yeah, he's a bit of an idiot. A bit of an idiot. I'm actually being extremely, extremely charitable.
That's all right. We all have idiots as friends.
He's one of these people that believe.
Still here? Sorry.
So he's one of these people that believe that ancient aliens exist, like the Mayans and all the rest of it.
Oh, don't get me started on that fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it's more woo than I can handle, and most times I just want to punch him in the face for being a twat. Yeah.
I mean, I've watched that show, and I'll probably watch it again. I do have one viewer that wants me to, do some videos on the Ancient Alien show.
Oh,
but yeah, you watch that shit, and you're like, everything isn't fucking aliens. For one, you're giving no credit to the ingenuity of the human race. For another,
exactly.
And most oh my god, that show. I like to put weird shit on before I go to bed and go to sleep to it. And I put that show on a few times, and I won't be able to sleep because the whole time I'm just like, what? Are you fucking retarded? And then before you can even actually really, think out into your brain the exact reason why that's bullshit, they've already moved on to another fucking piece of bullshit.
Exactly. It's
they
just
move
one
so
piece.
fast you can't even think about it.
Exactly. It's most of the time they just throw in a whole bunch of words so you just become confused at what the hell they're talking about in the first place.
Yeah.
They try to sound intellectual, but half the time they're just fucking idiots. Yeah.
They are. Though I love that weird guy, Giorgio or whatever his name is.
Oh, is that the one with the big hair?
Yeah, the one with the big hair. I love that meme. I do. I love that meme. That's like my favorite meme. And I'm not big into memes, but that shit's I love that meme.
Yeah, I've got one that just says, I'm not saying it was boobs, but it was boobs.
Dude, it's always boobs. They're everywhere.
Definitely. Anime boobs are better though.
Yeah, because they're fucking there's no gravity.
Exactly.
Yeah. And yeah.
Jigglies for the win.
Oh yeah, my husband's really into fucking anime and yeah, anime porn. He's a fucking freak.
Dirty old bugger.
He fucking is. He's a. At least he's not like into hentai. I'll give him that. He's not a hentai. He more likes the schoolgirl shit. And up the panties crap. So yeah.
Right, everybody's got their kink.
They do.
So that leads back onto the alien thing, I think. It's like, back in a few years ago, I watched the Penn and Teller's bullshit. And I watched the episode on the aliens, and it's just so funny. There was like some chubby chick, and they showed her this some fucking anal dildo, like the little beads with a vibrator attached to it and shit. And she said, "Yeah, I was probed by this." It's yeah, fucking probably too right you were.
I'm sorry, I'm not into that sticking that shit up your ass. I have a constipation issue, so yeah, nothing needs to be going up my ass. Sorry, the aftermath won't be good. Inappropriate. All right.
But yeah, it's with this whole area of woo, like flat earthers and everything like that. It's just stupid upon stupid. And I know I'm never ever going to change the minds of these cretins.
No.
But at least I can break it down so people can understand where these things might come from.
Yeah. I just like to make fun of them.
Oh, definitely. Everyone likes to make fun of them because they're fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the one, that whole group is the one group of stupid that I actually do get a kick out of and actually does amuse me rather than irritate me. Well,
it's always good to poke fun at a flat earther and make him go completely ape shit. Yeah. It's like, I got into what I'm talking about. I tried to tell him that there's already a fucking research station on Antarctica called Scott Base, and the fucker just completely denied it. So no, the UN wouldn't let them do that because they'll turn them back. It's like, oh, you fucking idiot.
There's plenty of fucking documentaries about that fucking place.
Oh, exactly.
I mean, I've seen so many.
Oh, this is the thing. They all say that they're government shills or whatever, as if like the US is the be all and end all of the planet.
That's the thing. They've gone from the Illuminati to it's the government or NASA. What?
Well, yeah, that's one of my bugbears is the whole moon landing conspiracy. It's just it drives me fucking mad. It really does. It's they don't seem to understand that. Yeah, in the first place, that Russia would have fucking blown the lid off of it.
Oh yeah.
If they thought for one instance that there was a problem.
You were so spot on with that. I hadn't even thought about that. Yeah, Russia would have narked us out in a heartbeat if they could.
Not to mention that at the time of the Apollo 11 launch, that there was multiple tracking stations tracking them by their radio signals, like Jodrell Bank in the UK, a few radio telescopes in Australia. I think Hawaii picked them up, and a few other places. So to fake that signal, at that time would be nigh on impossible.
Yeah.
Especially for NASA's budget and what money they had.
Have you seen the video that the people did to show how they faked the moon landing?
I've seen so many bits and pieces. I know there was one that was, basically trying to recreate it.
Yeah.
And basically proved that it was all pretty much spot on.
I think even Mythbusters did that. Yeah.
But I think there was another program that did it also, if I remember correctly, but I could be wrong on that one. But yeah, the thing is like everything that's been shown in these videos, the footage from the Apollo landing is consistent with everything we know about physics and space and the moon.
Yeah.
Whereas all these little cretins said, oh, that shadow shouldn't be there and all the rest of it just don't know what the fuck they're talking about in the first place. Yeah. Like,
I mean, you wouldn't. These people have already demonstrated that they can't even understand simple science.
Yeah,
they definitely are not going to be able to understand how being on a different planet in a different place and a different viewpoint of the sun is going to change shadows.
Well, it's not even the viewpoint of the sun. It's the reflectivity of the moon itself can change shadows in some respects. There's also other things like what's it? Oh, I can't remember the bloody name of it now.
Don't worry, I can't remember shit.
Radiation belts.
Mm-hmm.
The Van Allen belts. It's like their go-to is, oh, a human being can't survive in there. How long the fuck do you think they stayed in there? It was a couple of minutes, or it was barely enough to give them any kind of big ass dose of radiation in the first place. Yeah,
we're getting pretty much around the same amount of radiation, doing normal stuff throughout the day on Earth.
Exactly, and they didn't fly through the most active parts of it, which again they don't seem to understand because it's beyond their cretinous minds.
Yeah, they don't seem to understand much at all. They're I don't know. It's like the whole. I saw this one thing one time on the structures on the moon. Shut the fuck up. I don't want to scream at my dog because you guys will be like, go blast your fucking eardrums. He doesn't like weird sounds. If he hears something that he doesn't normally hear, he gets weirded out. So I'm very, very sorry about the dog.
No, I think he's just racist. He's just racist and he don't like the English. But
maybe. Why are you fucking talking to him, man? They don't like the English because didn't have much of a problem talking to Craggs. He's from Scotland.
Yeah. Well, he's Scottish. So, yeah.
He remembers back on the time when the English just fucked over everybody on the fucking earth.
Yeah, we were bastards. So I must admit that.
Yeah,
you were. Yeah, there's other little things like big buildings on the moon, Stag saying dead people and shit.
Like the face.
Back a body.
Oh my God, the fucking face.
Well,
Give it the fuck up, man.
Well, the face on Mars is just a
Oh,
mountain
yeah.
range that, just by coincidence, at that time when that picture was taken, the sun was in the right place, and the theology of that sort of not mountain but hill gave it the look of a face. And considering our brains are hardwired for facial recognition, that's the first thing we see is a face. But if you actually look at any of the topographical 3D models of that mountain, you can see there's literally nothing there.
Yeah.
And like pyramids and shit like that. Again, it's the trick of the light.
Proof of underground buildings.
Yeah.
Look, this is a whole fucking city. Like, no, it's not. Jeez.
Yeah, it's just like cities on the moon and shit like that. Yeah, and like no one else has ever seen them, and there's no proper photography of it ever that hasn't been altered by Photoshop or other clever little ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, it's all cretinous fucking stupidity. If anything, I like Planet Nibiru. Now there is, I don't know, I can't remember the exact bits and pieces of it. There is a theoretical planet that might be beyond the orbit of Pluto, because there's certain things that we can't quite make work with the current model of our solar system without a larger body being there.
Yeah,
it's something I haven't actually researched myself or actually looked into at the moment. Yeah, because I've pretty much kind of only just recently sort of like stumbled upon it. But it's definitely something worth looking at. But it's definitely not a planet that's coming our way.
No. Well, maybe in like, millions, billions of years, but not in our lifetime. We'll be dead by that time that shit
exactly.
happens.
Who cares? Yeah.
It's not going to affect us anything. So all the good shit that they're finding out and doing in space isn't going to affect us in our lifetime. And same with the bad, unless an asteroid comes.
Well, yeah.
Fucking happen. But,
that can happen at any time, really. But
any damn time. Woo.
But it's just us. Yeah, there's a lot more we have to learn about our solar system. Before we go anywhere, really. It's just it would be nice to know more about what is beyond, Pluto, like the belts and everything like that. There's a lot more we have to learn.
Yeah, I wish we could still be alive by the time they get back the information from Alpha Centauri. But
that'd be a long time in coming, and there's no guarantee that any crew would last that long.
Well, they're not doing a crew. It's these. They're like the size of a small microchip.
Oh, well, you mean sort of like a microsat or something like that?
Yeah, and they kind of like if you saw the movie Twister, how they set up the machines that had a bunch of little things in it that when the tornado picked it up, all those things would release. That's basically what they're doing, and all those little microchips will be sent to Alpha Centauri, and then will beam back information about it to us.
Yeah, we'll be way long gone before we ever get anything back from that.
Because I think they're like at least 15 years before they can. They've already done tests, but it's going to be at least 15 years before they'd actually be able to put it out there, and then like another 30 or 40 for them to get there, and then another like 50 for them to give us back information. So, I'm too old for that.
A lot of the stuff that is sort of set for Alpha Centauri or other solar systems, I haven't really looked into because I see it as way beyond our technological limit, or it'll be stuff that we won't ever see the return from. So I don't really normally get into it that much. I think the only thing that I've really got into is probably radio signals, the WOW transmission.
Yeah,
is an interesting one, but it's pretty much agreed that it was either a pulsar or another star that was giving off that sort of signal. But you always get some cretin that will say, "Oh no, it was aliens trying to send us a message."
Yeah, there's like tons of sounds out in space that go on, and that's just it's just like it's still nature. It's still things are gonna fucking make sounds.
Exactly, and a star gives off its own technically radio signals that we can pick up in, even though it's most, it's a lot of static. If it's a pulsar, then it's a regular pulse, and so on and so forth. But yeah, it's stuff that I'd like to get into. It would be nice to receive a transmission from another planet, but
That'd be pretty awesome.
as many have said, by the time we receive it, their civilization is most probably long gone.
Yeah. Plus, we're also having to compete with the fact that the universe is just continuously expanding. Exactly. So everything is getting farther away from us at all time. Well,
it's like trying to, if you're going to try and communicate with another galaxy, then yeah, that's going to be a problem. But if you're just saying like our general neck of the woods, the Milky Way,
yeah,
then it's a bit more likely we're going to pick something up. But again, as I said, we're in the arse end of nowhere. We're on the furthest part of our galaxy. In sort of galactic terms, we're in the cornfields. It's just nothing around us. Nothing of worth.
No.
And a lot of our transmissions I think our transmissions have reached out towards our nearest neighbor stars, and yet we haven't received anything back.
Yeah.
So we can probably, it's dollars to donuts, there's bugger all there.
More than likely. I mean, it's just such a vast neighborhood.
Exactly.
Universe. I mean, it's so fucking vast. There's logically has to be, or has to have had been, or will be, other intelligent life at some point in time.
Well,
but
intelligent life, I'd like to debate that, but the thing is there is a great, the chances of life, there has to be life out there, but whether it's intelligent or not is a different matter.
Well, I think there's plenty of life out there. But because we can look at our own planet and see the creatures that can live in unhospitable places that are similar to other planets. So yeah, life, most certainly, there's definitely life out there in the universe on other, and probably many fucking planets.
Exactly.
Even on asteroids. I mean, there's life everywhere. But intelligent life, I do believe, just because of the amount of other stars and other planets, they're just, whether they've died off or not, or haven't gotten to that point of intelligence yet, I don't know. But just sheer numbers, the probability is high.
The mathematics state that there has to be some kind of life out there.
Yeah.
But again, it's a different calculation whether it's intelligent or not, or towards our level. For all we know, we're the first intelligent race.
It's a possibility, because there's always got to be a first. But the amount of time, the amount of time it got to, the amount of time the universe has been in existence since the Big Bang. I mean, there's still a possibility.
No, exactly. There's always possibility, but there's always, when it comes to it visiting us, that's the bugbear.
Yeah, it's pretty damn low. Even though I saw what I saw, it's still pretty fucking low.
Exactly.
So it's.
There's all sorts of other woo especially when it comes to space, like black holes being gateways to another dimension or other stupidness like that. But
just getting into string theory alone, you get some fucking insanity.
Well, Jesus Christ, man. That's part of the physics that I'm not entirely well versed on, but I am starting to learn more and more.
It will on one hand, because string theory is one of those things that, on one hand, there are a lot of fucking excellent things that come out of string theory, and just brilliant shit.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, it's kind of like with anything else. You've got this other section of fucking people who are just basically being fanciful.
Exactly. It's adding
shit out of their
ass.
Ass. Yeah.
It's always adding woo to it. It's like this whole multiverse thing. I'm a bit skeptical, but then again, it's probably because I don't understand the mathematics that go into working it out. So,
yeah, that's where I always come into an issue when I get into all this stuff. My ability at math is just not up to par to understand. It's like, I'll see it and they like, we've got a proof from this equation, and I look at the equation, I'm like, but that means jack all to me. You need to be able to explain it in a non-mathematical form for me to understand, get it, and go, yeah, I agree.
exactly.
But when they can't do that, that's when it's like,
so this is one of the things, especially with black holes. I've heard people saying, "Oh, aliens use them as gateways between point A and point B." Until you actually start learning up on what black holes are, you don't realize how much power those things have. Anything going near them will be spaghettified.
Yeah, I don't see how they could get. Yeah.
So basically, to escape a black hole, you'd have to have more power than the black hole.
And that's way, way, way beyond our ability.
It's unfathomable. You'd have to
I think that would be. Go on.
Go.
All right. That would be harder than even going faster than the speed of light.
Yeah, definitely. You'd have to have harnessed the power of a black hole to combat a black hole.
Yeah.
Depending on its size, obviously. But as I said, anything going near it gets spaghettified. Just turns into a long string of atoms because one part of it is moving faster than the rest of it. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I get in moods where I watch a lot of this stuff, and I saw this one thing where they were showing how there's two sides to the black hole, and how light was coming out of the light, but
Hawking radiation.
Yeah, it was coming out the other side. It was like, it's basically there's this black hole, and on either side of it, it's kind of got like a funnel shape, and there's this light or energy that comes out both sides.
Yeah, basically it's radiation that's coming out of its poles, because essentially a black hole is a dead collapsed star. It still has a core, even though it's massively squished down, and it's got such a I can't remember the names of it now. My knowledge has gone out the window, but it's so compressed that the gravitational forces just won't allow things to escape from it, except for the radiation at the poles.
It's pretty cool looking, but they were trying to explain, or they were explaining the. It's been a couple years since I've seen it. How the gravity worked around, and how it was like proving that this, you could go through. And I'm just like, that doesn't make any sense. I'm still not grasping what you're saying. What you're saying is counterproductive or counteractive to what you've already said. Maybe it's just the, we don't understand math thing. I don't know. But yeah, that part I'm like, I don't know about that shit.
Yeah, it's basically, a lot of people don't get the sort of like the time dilation that you'd experience. Say, going back to there's a guy called Professor Brian Cox. I'm a big fan of. He did a show at I can't remember what place it was. It's one of the a little show that was broadcast on the BBC, and basically his way of saying it: if you stuck a clock to your back, and got yourself pushed out, the closer you'd get to that event horizon, the very edge of that, basically the clock will slow down until you get to the exact point of the event horizon. Then the clock will stop for you, as an observer outside of it, because the time dilation would screw everything up. For a person outside, it will look like that you're stuck in time, never moving, never changing. But from your point of view, your feet are going, your body's being stretched out into a long line of disassociated atoms.
That should be crazy. Imagine that. I wonder what that would feel like. I mean, would it hurt?
Well, I think it would pretty much be nigh on instantaneous, so I don't think you'll feel anything.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But it's definitely a part of science that I want to get more into, and it's definitely part of because I've got a theory about black holes that I'm trying to prove myself with my limited knowledge of physics. that I've been trying to do since I was 17.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a little way, but I need a lot of my mathematics checked by someone who actually knows a hell of a lot more than me. But my theory is that black holes can, my theory is that black holes are refueling themselves. Basically, a lot of the matter that gets shoved in gets get converted to Hawking radiation, but there's got to be something that stays within. So where's all that matter going? So I'm thinking it basically gets compressed in onto this giant great big ball of iron or whatever it is, and it's basically just rebuilding itself into something obviously we haven't seen before because it takes so long for it to happen.
Possibly. I've heard them talk about the fact that black holes basically are just devouring fuel.
Yeah, they just
I have heard that.
Yeah, they devour everything in their path. If they're near a star or solar system, it will just tear it apart, just sucking in everything it has. Now, most that matter has to go somewhere. I know some of it's turned into Hawking radiation and other radiations, but where does the rest of it go? I can. My way of looking at it is it's all getting clumped together onto the mass that's already there, and when it generates enough mass, then it might be, to my way of thinking, it could be a singular point where it will actually reignite, or something will happen. It'll reach a critical point. But
well, here's a thought, and I could be completely way off, but one thought, because I know that black holes are, from what they've learned about them and they're hypothesizing of, is that in the creation of things in the universe, black holes are integral. Like they believe that many black holes are actually the beginning of different galaxies and such.
Well, yeah, it's hypothesized that the center of our galaxy is basically tons upon tons of black holes.
Yeah.
Forming a supermassive black hole that keeps everything in sort of equilibrium near enough.
But with that thought, there is a possibility. I mean, because I think they believe that there is this one gigantic black hole out there that they're on one hand worried about, and on the other hand are extremely interested in, and think it's going to be something pretty fucking special eventually when we die, after we die. But here's just something to throw out there. What if you get a black hole big enough and has been fueling long enough that what if the accumulation, or the calm of I can't say the word, whatever, you'll get it, at the end of that, what happens is another big bang.
And very possible, on a very smaller scale.
Yeah, on a smaller scale. But maybe that is. I've always I've let or made myself understand the Big Bang and how it worked, and how, because of the continual expansion of the universe, I think it was a snap. So basically, it was a snap, because like if you take a rubber band and you pull it to where it snaps, if you look at it at a microscopic level, there's all these little particles that fly then off of it. So basically, what I view it as is that the universe just keeps expanding, and then when it gets to a certain point, another Big Bang happens. And then it just keeps going like that. It's just the expansion pulls and then snaps, and then boom, there's your Big Bang.
Could be a possibility.
So that's how I look at it, and that's how I, because it took me a while. I'm like, okay, I believe the Big Bang. I believe what they're saying, but I needed to work it out in my brain a way that makes sense to me. So that's how I look at it personally.
As I said, it could be a distinct possibility. It's just as we look at the Big Bang, and we go closer to the 0 point, like second zero, the very point of when it happens, all the physics break down. hopefully in the future with the unified field theory,
Mhm.
that we might actually be able to understand it if someone can actually make the unified field theory work. Unfortunately, we've lost the person that was at the forefront, which was Stephen Hawking.
Yeah.
But hopefully in future there might be somebody who might be able to figure it out and actually might be able to tell us what happened at the 0 point.
It'd be an interesting thing to find out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's still, just like, you look at science and the way, we have to, when we get into the deep science, not just your basic, on our planet type of science, but you look into the cosmological science. These are things that still, even when we can kind of prove them, are still kind of hypotheses.
Yeah, it's like at the end of the day, we are not out there actually taking measurements. We can only take what we see by telescopes and detecting equipment that we have to hand and make a hypothesis of what's going on. Most of it's all educated guessing, but it's very good educated guessing.
Yeah. I think that's what, it's very similar to religion. One of those things where there's a lot of shit you can't fucking actually prove, but at least with this, educated guesses are made. With religion, there is no fucking educated guess.
Exactly. Well, with science, they've got the mathematics to back it up. So basically, they are making these guesses, but most of the time, it's because the math kind of points towards it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not all just like intuition and I like that, so that's got to be how it's got to be.
Yeah, they still have to prove it in the possibility of it in some way, shape, or form.
Exactly. They've got to make sure that the mechanics work, or the mathematics work, should I say, before saying, "Oh yeah, that's how it is." No questions asked. Unlike religion, where it's like, "Yeah, it works because we told you to."
Yeah,
Told you so.
Here's some basic human, universal theory, just wrapped up into this is my special religion.
Yeah.
No, motherfuckers, it's universal theory. The universal consciousness. Almost all of them have some of the basic tenets of universal consciousness. It's just a ingrained, something that most human beings already naturally believe. And you're putting your own fucking spin on it to make it something that I'm right.
Well, this is why I class religion as woo, because I put the same criteria as I do to any other piece of woo, is follow the money. Follow the power. Who would end up with the most power? And religion is prime candidate for this kind of thing, where it's all been made up to make you, basically to gain power.
Nowadays it most certainly is. I mean, most religions were born out of just trying to explain such. Explain what's actually going on and make us feel better and important, and with having guidance that we the people who don't feel that they can guide themselves.
I would assume I would say that's true for a lot of the younger religions, but up until the sort of like time around Christianity, that's when it started changing, where it started
Politics and all that shit got involved.
It went from explaining the unknown to controlling the masses.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing of Christianity, once it caught on with a certain group of people, it was then used to get rid of pagans, because
it was to get rid of the people with the evidence, as it were, because a lot of the with Christianity, a lot of 90% of it is stolen from pagan religions. And
they got rid of the
exactly, and they tried to get rid of the pagans to basically to take the lie and make sure there was no witnesses.
And then that is what, and the reasoning of that is what you're saying. It was to get the church money.
More power. more
Yep.
control.
Power and
It's always-
money.
Exactly. It's the same with all things woo. It's all about power and money. You know, it's like one way or another, every piece of woo has a bank account attached to it, one way or another. You know, flat earthers, well, that's all attached to religion. So we know where that,
Yeah.
where that comes from.
Yeah, most of those idiots are Christians.
Exactly. Cryptozoology. There's literally your mini institutes built up for the study of this sort of shit. But guaranteed, they've got a gift shop selling something or selling DVDs for their knowledge or other stupidity.
Shit, you can make a UFO page or a cryptozoological page, a website, and if you can get enough traffic creating your own bullshit and fake stories and such, you'll then get a bunch of people coming on. Then you get people make money just because of that.
Exactly.
That's how they make money.
Exactly.
You don't even need a big, large, grouping to do the shit. There's so many fucking websites out there that are all that the whole basis and reasoning for them is to make shit up to get traffic onto their site so they can make money.
Exactly. Even if it's small stuff like a YouTube channel trying to say this stuff is real, they're still getting money from it. Yeah, if they were trying to give us this information, they wouldn't be giving it to us. Yeah, they wouldn't be charging; they'd be giving it to us for free. But as soon as money gets involved, you can start telling that it's not real.
Yeah, people are always looking for some way to get money. Period.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit what they have to do.
The art of the scam has been around since time immemorial. It's nothing new. It's just like, as soon as we could start writing or even before, there's always scam artists one way or another.
Oh, yeah.
Something we've always had to live with, especially now where, there's just no end to them and nowhere stopping them half the time.
Yeah, it's grown quite a bit in the last few years.
Well, I don't see it so much in other countries, but America is a great lens for woo at the moment. It's like, you've got anti-vaxxers, flat earthers, the whole lot, which is crazy. And that's starting to happen in other countries as well. Like over here, we're getting more and more anti-vaxxers.
Well, this is a weird theory, but the reason I think that is because our society in America, and now it is now seeping out into the rest of the world. Now other countries are getting more Americanized in this way.
Yeah.
It's down to food.
Yeah.
It's what we're ingesting.
Yeah.
Because it's been proven a horrible diet will affect your cognitive ability and lower your intelligence. And then that just keeps going on and on and on.
Let me warn you, don't bring bacon into this.
Oh, I won't. I love fucking
I will
bacon.
leave right now if you try to
no.
diss bacon in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, no. I'm all about don't pay attention to the amount of fat you're eating. You eat meat, you eat vegetables. And, that's how I eat.
Yeah. Well, everything in moderation, isn't it? So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, God, use common sense. But, yeah, which all comes back to grains, really.
Yeah, definitely. It's like, with the whole like vegan movement, I can understand it in part, and then again, I can't understand it. But they do have some logical points, but they just don't seem to have the brains to back it up. They don't seem to realize if they try and turn the whole world into vegans, then you're not only gonna dust bowl the planet, because you're going to be over farming the land to feed a massive populace. There's people that can't go onto a vegan diet, so animals will still die one way or another until we can get synthetic meats.
Plus, that will lessen, we were able to get these big brains and this intelligence from eating protein, from eating meat. I mean, not an excessive amount of meat, but just a normal, amount of meat is what got us to this point. you take that away, and after several generations, our level of intelligence, overall intelligence is going to go down quite drastically.
I think when it comes to the eating of meat for intelligence, I don't think it was so much the act of eating the meat. I think it's the act of catching the meat that made us more intelligent, made us more it made us increase our ingenuity.
Yeah, that could be. I mean, I've not personally heard that in that argument or that theory, but I can see that.
Yeah, without you see a food source, which is animals floating about the place. You probably munched on at one point or another. If you're an early man, you might have munched on them. Thought, oh, that was nice. How do I catch more?
Yeah.
And it's a slow progression. It's like an arms race. It's like you start getting tools to catch more animals or to kill more efficiently, and it's a progression on from there. It's not so much eating the meat; it's catching the bastards in the first place that's going to give you the intelligence.
We certainly have a disadvantage when it comes to that. Most animals can fuck us up easy.
Oh yeah, we are not. We'd like to think we're on the top of the food chain with our weapons, but if we're in the middle of the African savannah in amongst a bunch of fucking lions with no weapon, we're fucked.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like like Christians say, oh, this planet is perfectly suited to us. Have you been out there? It fucking ain't. Around every corner, there's shit that wants to kill you.
Yeah, including other people.
Exactly.
I mean, come on.
Exactly. This planet is not suited to us. The atmosphere is technically poison to us to a certain extent.
Well, just look at the fact that, the evolution of the planet itself has gone through so many stages that we could not fucking live in, period.
Exactly.
We just got lucky that it got to a point where, it is suitable for us now atmospherically. But
exactly.
back in the day, there were fucking scorpions the size of a goddamn bus because of the way the atmosphere and the oxygen levels were. So, it's just now a period of time that humans can be existing.
Well, they don't seem to understand that, a couple of 100,000 years into the future, the Goldilocks zone might, of our sun, actually probably millions of years, might shift. So this planet might not actually be habitable for human beings anymore. Yeah,
I think they have proven that ever so slowly we are getting slightly closer.
But
so, that is an eventuality. It will happen.
Oh no, it will happen one way or another.
I mean, they said, I think it was Venus used to be a habitable place for life forms. And then that shifted. Things shifted. It got closer to the sun, and now it's not. Oxygen levels changed, and it turned the atmosphere into, I think, is it acidic? I don't know. It's this very fucked up, volatile atmosphere.
No, it's just the first time I've heard of this one, so it's a lot more research I've got to do about some stuff.
Well, that's okay. I don't know fucking everything.
Well, it's like Mars. It lost its magnetic field was weakened, so therefore, any water on the surface was boiled away by the atmosphere escaping, and so on and so forth. At one point, the Goldilocks zone could have very well been where Mars is, but over a slow progression of years, it changed.
Stags know where Randy's from. All right, Australia, the other side of the fucking earth. So now it's winter there. It's winter there right now. Now we've definitely talked about an expanse, way more than cryptozoology, which is usually what happens.
It's basically everything that I'm going to hopefully cover on my channel at some point or another.
I find all of this interesting stuff. I love all of these subject matters, and definitely. I love to, it's all fascinating. It's like anything supernatural, which sidebar. It really fucking pisses me off when people take science, like aliens and stuff, and they make it into it's a supernatural thing. It's not fucking supernatural. But anyways,
it's always a way to dodge the question or hide their ignorance or what they really want, which is to grab your shekels.
yeah.
It's like ghost hunters alone are all frauds. Yeah, well, there are people like say DDF Ghost Hunting. That's his channel. It was on here a while back. He's doing it not because he's doing it for the science rather than say a lot of these ghost hunting people that are literally just doing it to get a TV deal.
Yeah.
Or
I find all these topics, all the supernatural topics, fascinating and interesting, and I love them. But at the same time, I don't believe in them.
Well, it's the same here. Yeah, I find a lot of this woo incredibly fascinating. I'd like to try and track it back to see their thought processes from point A to point B and actually try and get inside their minds a bit without losing my own.
They might turn you, man. They might turn you.
The bacon protects me. They ain't gonna know me. There ain't no way they're gonna touch me.
Bacon protects us all. It does, but ghosts. Oh my god, I'll occasionally get in the mood to watch these types of ghost hunter stuff, and I'm always just like sitting there going, "There's a fucking logical reason for that."
Oh, yeah,
that's dust in the air. I mean,
well, yeah, they pander to the ignorant, the people that just don't know enough. With a little bit of knowledge, it would dispel a lot of these little things. It's like with people saying they see faces in things that you wouldn't normally see. As I said earlier, the brain is hardwired to recognize faces. Even in random jumbles, we'll see faces. That's how our brain works, because that's pattern recognition. It's how we recognize each other. And it extends to a random pile of bricks on the floor. You'll see a face in there somewhere or another.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I dated this guy one time that he was an artist, and he would do bunches like squiggles and just random shit all over a page, and then he would go back in and find things that look like things.
Oh, exactly.
And then express that more.
Exactly.
For the artwork. And that's basically the same thing. But I mean, let's just go with the theory of multidimensional. I've seen some string theory that does come damn close to proving it.
Yeah, a lot of some physics wouldn't work without a sort of pointing towards another dimension or another set of dimensions.
Yeah. And I mean, I saw this one documentary about string theory, and I'm going to completely get this wrong, but they proved that we believe we're in X amount of dimensions, that there are X amount of dimensions. But they already proved that there was one more dimension. And it was just proven from, just watch an ant on a string. There's the around. That's another dimension that we ourselves may not live in, but exists. And I'm probably getting, explaining it completely fucked. Well, but it's been like over 10 years since I've seen this documentary.
Well, yeah, it's probably a state that we're not aware of because we don't need to use that particular part of our brains, or we don't see it because it's not there for us. Yeah.
And there's this one, he's not a mainstream. I mean, he's basically theoretical physicist that works from home. But he wrote a couple books, and he has this one book that I bought because he has this theory on time that I thought was fascinating. His idea of time is that every second, or I guess we'll just go with seconds. Every second is a different. It's like photographs. It's like constant photographs being taken. Oh, because it was trying to prove a way that time travel would work. Put it that way. This time travel is something that I've always But that's fucking bullshit. There's no fucking way that can work.
No.
But he came up with this theory, and it's the only theory that I've ever heard that is that could possibly show that time travel could happen.
Yeah.
That every, so it's like a constant snip, 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 snip. And each of those snips creates another dimension. And
interesting.
If you could find a way to go from one, we'll say photograph, from one photograph to another photograph, that would be a way to do time travel. And then that would, when it goes back to the whole idea of, creating another timeline type of thing. So that just creates more snippets of time that are different. And I was like, that's interesting. That's the only thing, I don't really believe it, but that is the only thing that I've ever heard that could possibly work.
Well, it brings us back to black holes, because basically, time is intrinsically tied up with light. Other phenomena. It's the only possible way you could probably to make the actual science work is to get close to a black hole, because it's the only thing that can bind space, time, and light. I can't remember the exact explanation for it. Another Brian Cox video called The Science of Doctor Who actually explained it extremely well for the layman.
I'm down
It's
for
definitely
that.
something you've got to have a watch of, because it explains how time travel could possibly work using physics. And it's fucking awesome.
I'll have to try that out. We keep talking about black holes and Event Horizon. It just keeps making me think of one of my favorite movies.
The Event Horizon or Black Hole.
Event Horizon. Fucking love that movie.
Yeah, I definitely like the look of the ship. I can never remember it. Oh, it was called the Event Horizon, wasn't it? Yeah, I love the look of that ship.
Oh, that movie, the gore alone, that was awesome. I was like, that is, I don't know, I just fucking love it. I didn't think it had so much depth. I mean, I'm probably reading into a few things, but it had so much depth to it. And when you first watch it, it's just like, it is a bit horrifying. I'm like, ooh. It was so different when it came out. It was so different than anything else that would have come out before it. And I was just like, this is the best fucking movie ever. So,
nowadays I normally just laugh at horror movies just because I can see how
they are laughable.
Yeah, it's because I'm into prop making and movie special effects and stuff like that. It's one of the things where I can see, because I can see how it's done. I just find it funny. Yeah, just because it looks so ludicrous for someone who actually knows how they put it all together.
I could imagine. I mean, I got a different viewpoint of all that from watching that Sci-Fi Channel show. I forget the name of it.
It's like the movie The Thing. I've never actually watched it fully. I've only seen like clips and documentaries on how they made it.
That's a classic, man.
Every time I see clips of it, I don't see there's a monster. I see there's about 20 other people with like cables and stuff like that trying to make everything move.
Yeah. Well,
and that's what I see.
When it came out, it was,
oh, it was horrifying.
It was groundbreaking almost. That is a fucking classic.
Oh, definitely. I will have to watch it one day, but I don't know which one to watch though, because I know there was a black and white version, and then there was a later version with Kirk Douglas.
Yeah, watch the Kirk Douglas one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch both because just to see how they match up.
I mean, it's Kirk Douglas,
But yeah, with everything like that, I always see the special effect rather than the storyline, unfortunately, and it's kind of ruined it for me.
Yeah, that would ruin it for you. No, yeah, it's kind of like with magic. If you know how it's done, it kind of ruins it for you.
Well, yeah, it ruins it, but it doesn't delete the wonder.
Yeah,
how they did it. It's like, I don't know. That's why I really want to get into prop building and that sort of thing. It's always been my dream to sort of like work for a workshop or something like that.
That would be cool.
Oh, definitely. I'd so love to work for those guys. They seem cool. Yeah.
Oh, that's fascinating.
But yeah, it's like time travel again is a part of woo that I will have to eventually get into, like Jaranism and a few other idiot woo peddlers out there.
Oh, it's always irritated the fuck out of me. Always.
If you want some pure grade A Colombian woo, go for Jaranism. Guy is a Fruit Loop and a half.
All right.
His brain is so far into woo. Yeah, you'd need more than a crowbar to get him out of there.
All right, you're gonna have to write that shit down, put it in the other guy you're talking, Brian Cox. I might be able to remember that name because, well, that's an actor's name, so I might be able to remember that name.
Well, yeah, I'll send you a DM later with ones that I've seen. There's like a Night with the Stars that he does a few things. What's it? It talks about I think it was quantum physics and a few other things. It's really, really good. And there's the Science of Doctor Who, where he explains like time travel and so on, that sort of thing. But Jaranism, I think he's still got a channel up somewhere.
Oh, these motherfuckers.
Yeah,
you'd think as ignorant as they are, that they'd be much happier people. I mean, because ignorance is bliss, really, and it truly is. And they should be happier, but they're all so fucking angry. Maybe it's because, they realize that everybody fucking tells them they're wrong, and that can be aggravating when people are constantly telling you you're wrong. But Jesus, they seem so fucking angry.
Yeah, I think a majority of them, they start off with this sort of idea about getting money, and they become so sold on their own ideas that they believe it wholeheartedly after a while. And an attack on that idea is an attack on them. And they get all bent out of shape. Like, when it comes to flat earthers, it's not, they don't see it as just an attack on themselves. It's an attack on their religion. Yeah. And their whole like mindset. So yeah, that's fucking when one of them go off the rails and start attacking. Oh my god! Even though it is.
What?
Yeah, it's like when a flat earther goes off the rails. It's like being attacked by a fucking derpy squirrel. It's just it's so pointless, but it's so fun to watch.
Yeah, well, I'm going to bring up some drama. Some drama that this is reminding me of. Stags. You know about the drama that he's been in recently with I don't remember the fucking person's name, but you know about his recent drama?
Oh yeah.
That chick reminds me of one of these people.
Yeah, she's it's hard to explain what she is. It's like the
way she got so fucking offended and pissed off that he didn't just be like to her. It was like she took it so personally that he was like fucking personally attacked. I mean, he personally attacked her later when she was being a cunt. But that initial thing, she reacted like he, just like these people, like, oh my God, how did he not, just believe her?
Oh yeah, it's something I've actually tried to keep well away from because this is Stag's fight. I don't want to get involved. Sorry, Stags. I agree with Stags in this entirely, to tell you the truth.
I got involved. I even went and I'm not white knighting or any shit like that, dude. But
yeah,
I watched the chick's video and it was like, because I was like, I'm curious. I don't really like having drama of my own, but I do get curious every now and then when I'm bored about what's going on with other people.
Well, so I haven't actually been following up on it, to tell you the truth, but I think majority of it's in part a disagreement of definition. Spin and rotation. It's like one person says rotation, one says spin, but at the end of the day, the moon's still going to do what it's going to do.
Regardless. But I don't think she's completely wrong. But I do agree more with Stags. But I don't still think she's completely wrong about it. Because, it's just how you look at it.
Yeah.
I just think she just fucking blew this shit way out of out of
Yeah, she
proportion.
definitely pushed her toys out of the pram on that one. Jeez, that was bad. Yeah, and a response video to boot. It's like, oh, woman, just stop it.
Yeah, the fact that it's still going on and it just amuses me. Sorry that it's happening to you, Stags, but it's still amusing. But don't worry, I'll always have your back.
So,
Unless you are really fucking stupid about something, and then I'll just, DM you and tell you that. I wouldn't call you out in public. But anyways, okay, enough of that drama. Sorry to bring it up, people. But it was making it, talking about how those people react just reminded me of that, of how she reacted. Like he was
yes.
attacking her belief system or some shit.
Yeah, well, it's with I think just about everything. There is always going to be those people that will never change their mind about anything. They see one thing and they latch onto it, or
Yeah.
they learn a thing and they latch onto it, and they're not willing to change their mind when something comes along that will refute them.
Yeah.
And they get angry. It's like me myself. There's thing, yeah, like the moon landings. I must admit, I've been very angry at people that tried to refute it and say it's fake and all the rest of it. But only because their arguments are so blatantly stupid.
Yeah.
If you actually gave me some proper evidence that it didn't happen, I'd actually listen.
Yeah.
But so far, every time they've given me an explanation of something, I'm thinking, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
End of conversation. Enough's enough. I try not to entertain these people too often. Sometimes they do say things that I get really pissed off about, and
it's hard when you're talking to a brick wall. It's one thing to actually have a conversation with somebody that has disagrees with you, and you can share your thoughts and they can share their thoughts. But it's another thing when you're talking to somebody who is a fucking brick wall, that they won't even take a second to try to understand what you're saying.
Oh, exactly. As I deal with it on a semi-constant basis. It's like I have a friend who's a Pentecostal Christian, and he's been trying to convert me.
Oh Lord,
God for years now. And at the end of the conversation, I always keep it nice and civil, even though I do want to wring his neck. But he's the sort of person that will just say, if I say something, he'll go, "No, you can't say that." So why can't I say
just fucking did.
Exactly. It's like, I've given you the evidence to refute whatever you're saying, but that's your only response, is you can't say that.
I always fucking hate the ones that have that, just like, they have taglines and you just hear the same fucking tagline every conversation with all these different people. It's like somebody wrote, okay, this is what your response needs to be if this is asked. This comes up, say this. And it's like the same shit over and over again. It's like, are you fucking people like really getting together and writing this shit out? Or are you just listening to other people like, well, I'm going to take that too? It kind of goes along with the whole thing. Like, I get annoyed with people who are constantly saying, like, straw man or cognitive dissonance and all that shit. It's just shut the fuck up. You learn something new. Great. You don't have to fucking keep using that term every time. Or they use it just to try to shut you down.
Yeah, exactly. To me, it's like you say fallacy or straw man, I'll kick you in the nudges. Even if you don't have nudges, I'll give you some nudges and I'll kick them.
Yeah. I mean, you'll kick us so hard that you actually get to those.
Yeah.
Because they're up there. They're just a little bit different.
Yeah, exactly. It just annoys the hell out of me. For me, it's like the word fallacy and straw man are just a get out of jail free card.
Yeah, that's how they use it.
Conversation.
And most of them really don't fucking know what it means in the first place.
Exactly.
They just heard other YouTubers using it, and now it's like, yep, I learned a new word.
Yeah. It's like another one, Occam's razor. That fucking thing has been the bane of my existence for years. I fucking hate it.
I haven't heard that very often.
Yeah, it's all things being equals, the most simplest explanation being the right one. That's not how it works. It never has worked like that.
No,
ever.
Most of these terms are terms that should not, normally be used outside of a, whatchamacallit setting. No, I can't think of the word.
A philosophical debate.
Yes, there's certain time and places where those words are to be used. In general conversation, those words aren't needed. If you cannot get your viewpoint across with basic words, not, I've got a large vocabulary words,
Oh yeah,
you don't fucking even understand your own fucking position.
exactly. If you can't get your point across so the layman can understand, that you really don't have much of a point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I come across like word salad. It's people like Januarism do it all the time. They throw a whole bunch of pseudo-scientific terms or complicated terms at people, and they hope that people get sort of like bundled down with them or confused by them enough to get to believe it.
Yeah, it always comes down to either they're trying to shut you down or they're trying to be like, I'm smart.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm trying to seem smart, so believe in me.
Yeah, well, it's like, no, you're not.
Exactly.
Sorry, you're fucking not. You're usually 9 times out of 10, somebody uses these fucking terms, they're a fucking idiot.
Well, yeah, this is what
I'm calling out a whole bunch of YouTubers.
Well, this is what a lot of New Age creation, or like young Earth creationists and stuff like that are using, basically trying to use science against itself.
Yeah, which doesn't work because they don't know the basics of the science to begin with.
Exactly, and none of them are actually scientists. They're all they've all got posted degrees that they've got from some shitty college that never existed, or it's one of those like diploma mills or something like that. None of them have ever studied science in any degree whatsoever. To any degree, should I say? Like,
I was talking to this one person. I'm like, dude, I could say that I've got I forget what we were even arguing about. It's been a couple weeks. I'm like, I could easily just say that, I've got a degree in cosmology and this and that and quantum theory and all this shit, and it doesn't mean that I fucking do. So don't even try to tell me that I've looked into this science. You haven't fucking studied it. You don't have a goddamn degree. It's obvious from what you're fucking saying.
Exactly. Yeah. Like people like Ken Ham. It's like, he was a secondary school or a high school teacher of science. Anybody can do that. I'm sorry. It's not exactly a hard thing to do. It's
they will put teachers in positions that didn't even go to school for that topic because all the material is handed to them. The curriculum is handed to them.
Oh, exactly. It's like
they have gym teachers teaching fucking science.
Oh, exactly. I went back to my secondary school a few years after I left, and for various reasons, I had a lot of trouble learning things when I was in school. It was mostly because of every house I lived in had black mold, which affected my memory.
Yeah.
Not a great time. And after I left school and I actually moved to a place that didn't have it, my mind was like a sponge. I started learning left, right, and center, especially about science. And I went back there a few years later and started talking to my physics teacher. And some of the stuff I was talking about, he had no idea about what I was talking about. And these are the sort of things that you'd expect a science teacher to know.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I can do your job now.
Yep. Just from reading some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Doing your own stuff.
Exactly. But like people like Ken Ham, they're only there for the money. They're not there for their God or anything like that. They're there for a paycheck.
Yeah. I've never understood why, and I've seen this actually happening in the atheist community as well. It's like I'm seeing a lot of atheists act like Christians, where they seem to be trying so hard to convert you.
Yeah.
Why the fuck do you care what this other person believes in?
Exactly. It's like if when it comes to some atheists, trying to convert people, it's like you got to realize that these people aren't going to convert just because you give them a few facts. A lot of these people are so deeply entrenched in what they believe in that no matter what you say, it's not going to matter one jot.
Yeah, like on Twitter, I've skirted around the atheist community, just skirted around it because I don't really want to get involved, just because I'm seeing so many of them take it so fucking serious
Yeah, I think I've gotten to the last stage of atheism where it's like meh.
Yeah.
You do you. I'm done with trying to explain this shit to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get angry at these people anymore. I don't try and refute them anymore because at the end of the day, it's pretty much pointless.
Yeah.
You know.
I've decided that it's not my job to prove anything. Well, not really prove, but it's not my job to change somebody's mind.
Exactly.
I'm willing to give you the information that I have, and you do with it what you will.
Yeah,
Because
that's basically the whole thing with my channel. It's basically I'm going to explain these things as best I can. Whatever you want to do with that information is completely up to you.
yeah,
Yeah, I can only give out the thought processes of the people that I'm debunking and all the rest of it, how they get from how they want to get your money as much as possible. Yeah, and
you're
explain
gonna
it.
get so much hate.
Hmm?
You're gonna get so much hate. It's gonna be a beautiful thing.
Oh yeah, feed me that hate. I live off that hate because I'm not going to respond to one single one of them, so they're going to
No,
hate me even more.
yeah, you're gonna drive some of them fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have the ones that come back over and over and over. I mean, look at Sir Sick.
Mm.
You know, he used to do one kind of content, and now he's changed to doing a little bit of debunking stuff. And my God, they just attacked him.
Oh yeah, it's like with Stags and the Flat Earth.
Mhm.
He did one stream and they all went after him. It's like the amount of downvotes he got on one of his first Flat Earth vid.
All you need.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just crazy. It was fun to watch. He was having so much fun.
Oh, I bet. I bet.
Yeah,
I mean,
I am fully prepared for it.
I don't get much hate, but when I do, it is a bit fun, depending on the person. I mean, I'm still having fun with my phantom disliker.
Mm.
I'm still having fun with that. And if it, like I said, if it continues, I'm going to make a whole lore about it. I'm going to actually create it into something that I can use.
If it goes on for long enough, I'll have to do a cryptid for him.
Yes.
The mystery debunker or the mystery disliker.
Yes. I just think it's funny as shit. I mean, I remember when I was doing, videos on like Riley Dennis and Milo Stewart, I'd get people come and that Wiccan that I that was so offended by trans women not being included in a Dianic ritual. I got comments, why are you so mean? I'm like, I'm not being fucking mean. I'm poking fun at these people. I was just like, oh God, what the fuck? I mean, anyway.
Well, I kind of understand. My brother's a Wiccan, so
I used to be, so I have a good knowledge of it. And I saw her video, and I'm just like, there's a lot of shit I can fucking poke holes in here.
There's always ways to jab at somebody's videos. When it comes to like the political stuff and like Riley J. Dennis, that's stuff I will not touch.
I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm not doing that kind of shit anymore.
Yeah, especially recently when I had that mini argument with Sofane about politics. It's like, I ain't getting involved with that shit no more. That was enough for me.
Yeah, hey son, don't spend too much. Okay, I want the chicken sandwich. Okay, all right. I've got friends that believe all sorts of things. Because I'm not going to not be a friend with somebody because they believe something different. Like Cyber and I, we have completely different political. Well, not completely different, but he supports Trump.
Yeah,
I abhor Trump, but I'm not obsessed with this fucking. I don't give a shit. I mean, I give a shit about what happens to my country, but people are just way too invested in this stuff. They're I tweeted out a few days ago. People are taking things way too fucking seriously.
Well, yeah. Yeah, when it comes to politics, I try and keep well enough alone, but recently I've seen more and more bad changes for the worse in my country, where
Yeah.
to some
You
extent,
guys really need to fucking stand up because, oh my God.
I think it's gone past the point of where we can do anything anymore without a major uprising.
Yeah, you're gonna have a major uprising, or it's gonna go on and get worse and worse and worse until that pendulum swings and it comes in the completely fucking opposite direction to an extreme.
That, or if a miracle might happen and actually someone gets into power that's actually willing to do some good in the country rather than ignore everyone, like every government we've ever had. But I just see things going downhill and downhill fast over here.
Yeah. Well, I was trying, I had my family, me, my sister, my dad having dinner yesterday, and I was trying to explain to them because, they're not into, the internet. So I started explaining to them some of this shit, and they actually, because I was trying to explain that there's two different social climates. There's two different realities. There is the internet, and then there's real life.
Yeah.
And right now, as we're speaking, the internet civilization is seeping into the real life civilization.
Yeah.
And I told them about, what happened in Canada with the law about pronouns. And my dad didn't believe me.
Yeah, that's sort of.
He thought I was fucking crazy. Lying. And I'm like, no, or just, believing bullshit on the internet. I'm like, no, this is literally a law that went through.
Yeah.
And I'm telling them about, what's happening over there in Britain. And they're just like, and I'm like, how are you? Average people, the normal person in society, don't know that this shit's happening.
Yeah.
So that's how they're fucking getting in, because the average person doesn't know. They just think, well, yeah, it's good to have equality. Yeah, it's like me when I first heard about SJWs. I didn't know what it was. I just took it social justice warrior. Well, what's wrong with that? I mean, social justice is good. And then I found out what it actually fucking was, and it was like, holy fucking shit. But yeah, the average person doesn't know. So that's how they're slipping all this shit in, because regular people just don't know what's fucking happening.
Well, yeah, but in this country, the working class, which I consider myself a part of, it's more dawning more. Well, it's always been a part of it. Basically, we know we don't mean shit to the government. We're a paycheck to them.
Yeah.
The working class gets stiffed on a daily basis by the government. Every year, nothing changes, and the worker always gets done.
Well, it's the same thing here.
Yeah, but I think it's getting to the point where the worker is starting to get pissed off with how things are going.
I believe so. I mean, that's how Trump got into, the office, is because of that. That's why that happened here.
Exactly.
The average person was putting their fucking foot down.
Exactly. And I think the same thing will happen here eventually at some point or another, or it's like a powder keg. I think the wrong thing happens and everything will go up.
Well, I'm going to put something out there that you don't have to comment on. Just one. Because I know it could be dangerous for you to comment on it. But I think you guys, and this is going to sound horrible, but whatever. You've got enough immigrants, let's just say, over there that shit could easily hit the fan once, the working class really starts to put their foot down and do something. I would fear that since you already have, these groups of rapists that, are getting away with shit and stuff, all that stuff's as you know what I'm saying, that there might very easily be enough fucking extremists over there that it's going to cause, an explosion.
Yeah, when it comes to all of that, we're seeing the early stages of it. I think it's like, a lot of discontent. It's like, when it, a lot of people think, saying, that basically in this country, a lot of people of my class will see that immigrants get a free ride.
Yeah.
That as soon as they come over, they're given everything they could possibly want by the government, and, handouts, benefits, so on and so forth. There are genuine cases where they come over legally. I have no problems with that. I'm not a fan of illegals.
No.
I will say that now. It's like, if you come through on the proper channels, welcome aboard.
Yeah.
I have no problems with that whatsoever. If you're actually in danger of losing your life or your family's life, okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
But if you're just
asylum.
coming
Okay.
over to sponge and to send money back to whatever country you're coming from, then no, you can bugger off.
Yeah.
Actually give something back to the country or go away.
Plus, when it comes to immigrants and just let's just say non-white people, since Britain was initially a white country, I find it a bit odd that this shit is happening in your country, because from a viewpoint from a person over here in America, just watching, because I watch a lot of British television show and movies, you guys have always had, well, we'll take the legalization of homosexuality out of the equation, but we're just talking people of color. You guys have always had a lot more people of color in your entertainment than America.
Oh, exactly.
It seemed to us that you guys, they'd been Englishdized. I don't know what the term would be.
Yeah.
They are now part of the culture.
Oh, definitely.
So it's odd that this is now happening when you guys seem to be already above all that shit.
It's something that comes around every now and again. It's kind of hard to explain, just because, well, in part, a good majority of it I haven't seen myself.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the whole immigrant issue. I see it because my sister, who's got 4 kids, have to live in a 3-bedroom house with my parents.
Oh, God.
And about 10, 15 years ago, she would have been given a council house or a state-owned house.
Yeah.
That they pay rent for. No problems. Now it's nearly impossible to get it in London. There's just no more room. Literally, it's like, private rentals are literally skyrocketing, so no one can afford them. Council places, not enough of them are being built, and there is an issue with space. There's just no more space left, or it's getting to the point.
You guys are a small area.
Yeah,
compared to other countries, you have a rather small country.
It is a decently big country, but London itself, where a good proportion of them head for, it's tiny in comparison.
Yeah,
it's a dot of in the country. There's just no more space, or very little space. Actually, I'll be right back. Give me 2 seconds.
No problem. So I wonder how many. I'm on the screen that I can't see how many viewers we have. I wonder how many of you guys are still here. I always wonder that, though. It's like I'm always amazed that people are watching in the first place. Watch, nobody's here. Well, plus, I'm not very good at checking with the chat. I'm horrible at looking at the chat, so. I wonder, though, do people actually watch live streams? Do they just want to listen, or do they actually really want to interact? Or do they want to just interact with the other people watching? I often wonder, because I don't watch a lot of streams myself. I like to watch the highlights. When there are highlights. not space. It's these fucking immigrants taking everything. Yeah, yeah. We'll talk about that for a second because that, I don't want him to get in trouble with those fucking laws over there. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, I'm all about, I'm fine with immigrants and such, but this is getting, and we're not even, we've always had the issue with Mexico, but we're not even getting a lot of them because it's, we're saying no to them, but the actual citizens of the country should come first. Immigrants second. I'm sorry. It's like actual citizens, birthed citizens should always come first. Plus, like I said in another stream, there's so many of them. There's enough of them to fucking have stayed in their country and done something about it. Like you hear a lot of people take responsibility, like that whole thing with the chicks in Australia, that whole thing about the cop saying take personal responsibility for yourself when it comes to going out in public and shit. Well, yeah, why don't these immigrants need to take the personal responsibility? Don't you want your country to be a great country? You're abandoning. I mean, you don't have to be a hyper, I love my fucking country, I'm a patriot. You don't got to be that, but shouldn't you want the place you came from, the place, that is yours, to be as good as it could possibly be? That's what I don't understand. Why aren't they fighting for their country? I don't get it. And it's not like, moving to another country where you don't speak the language is fucking easy. You're going the hardest fucking route. And then they expect that, like Ninja and I have considered moving to another country. We'd considered that. We'd looked into it. And I wanted to definitely pick a place that, spoke a decent amount of English. But it's just for the simple fact that I would feel like shit and feel like I'd feel like a piece of shit moving to another country and not knowing their fucking language. I'm sorry. That seems like to be the first thing you'd want to know before entering another country. You'd want to be able to communicate. And it's not even, being like, well, being nice to the people in the new country, like giving them a favor, like, yeah, I'll learn your language to make it easy on you guys. No, you can be selfish about that. You need to make it as easy as fucking possible on yourself. So learn the fucking language. That's the issue that, we have in America with the Mexicans that come. They don't fucking speak English. That to me is like, that's scary. I'd be scared to do that. Not be able to actually communicate with the people around me. That's, and it's like, I'm trying to learn Spanish a little bit just because when and if I have to go, back to work, if I get off disability and I have to go back to work, knowing Spanish puts you on a higher level of being hired. And I find that odd. Just for any job. Like, a job at fucking McDonald's. If you can speak Spanish, yeah, they're more likely to hire you. Like, I'm not trying to get a job being an interpreter here. Learning a non-native language shouldn't be something fucking special to get that goddamn job. I don't know. I'm here by myself. Am I carrying this? I don't know if I'm carrying this. I'm trying to think of things that I might want to bring up. Don't start again, please. My mic's gone again. Your mic's gone again. Oh, damn. Oh, no. I hear you.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Fucking goddamn Windows. Bastards. Sorry about that.
It's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, when it comes to the migrant issue, I try and keep out of it because it is such a complex thing. Well,
Yeah.
I can only see how it's going via the lens of my life and my family. And yeah, it's not looking good. You know, it's like if you want a place in London, there's just no chance. You have to go further and further afield now. You know.
Oh, so yeah, I was saying while you're gone that I'm sorry, but if the natural citizens of a country need to come first.
Yeah, that's that's what definitely. Yeah, it is just a pity that we come last. Now,
Yeah.
you know, it seems more and more that we come last and other people come first. You know, in some respects, yeah, I dislike it. In some respects, I understand. In some, some cases that a family of migrants that have come over here through the legal channels might need a home because you don't
Yeah.
want them on the streets. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can accept that. But the ones that are just coming over because they see money, I just don't want them here. Screw them. It's like the NHS here is stretched to breaking point because of migrants that have come in just to get NHS treatment and then bugger off again.
Really?
Yeah. So millions of unpaid medical bills are just sitting there because migrants have come in, said they want asylum or whatever, got the NHS treatment, even though they would have to still pay for it, but they bugger off soon afterwards so they don't have to pay for it. Yeah.
This is a little bit slightly off topic, but it's kind of funny to hear that, right now, if I wanted to, don't be so loud. We could literally, Ninja and I could literally go over to your country and say we're immigrants and we want asylum here because we hate Trump, and then be taken care of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, other than everything except for dental, then you're going to pay through, well, sorry the pun, but through the teeth for it. Yeah, that's the one part of the NHS that they will expect payment for is dental, which is not great.
Yeah, well, I'm on Medicare because of the disability, and they won't take care of eyes or dental.
Oh, yeah, because it's big business. That's the problem.
Yep, it is.
Luckily, over here, stuff like glasses and stuff like that are actually pretty cheap in the long run.
Really?
You can get an eye exam for £10. You can get a cheap pair of glasses for 60. No, anything from 30 to £40, which is in the long run, it's nothing. But if you're looking to get dental, then expect a big bill. And if you go on the NHS for dental, then expect a very long waiting period.
Damn. I know.
And still a hefty bill.
It's hold on a second. Are those yours? Oh, then no, you fucking take it then.
Eat them.
Motherfucker, take it.
No, I'm not going to take it.
I'm not going to eat it.
No, you better feed it to your dog then.
Ah, Jesus fucking drama.
Not drama. I'm being fucking nice and you're using it.
It's drama for the stream, motherfucker.
If there's munchies, I'll take it.
Yeah, he went and got us food. Yeah, we need to go grocery shopping, and we've been like out of food for a few days, kind of. So.
Unfortunately, I'm doing long shifts at work. I haven't been shopping for the last 2 weeks. All I got is a packet of fries and a packet of chicken nuggets in my freezer.
I've done that before. Before I was trying to eat better. Yeah, get a couple bags of those, and they're inexpensive. All this is the price of food, man, and all the shit food is the least expensive.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
And
I
it's
don't.
no wonder that everybody's unhealthy and fat.
Well, yeah, as I'm me included. Jeez, I need to lose some weight.
Yeah, because we're mostly poor. Everybody's mostly poor nowadays.
Oh yeah. Well, it's one of
So,
this is one of my big bugbears, like celebrity chefs, like Jamie Oliver.
hmm
That little twat will get a thumping from me if I ever meet the little bastard. You know, he made the government put a sugar tax on soft drinks to stop
well,
kids from getting fat.
I think we already have a tax on sugar.
Oh, it's
Our
crazy.
sodas and candy are already taxed. So it's
Oh,
like nothing new to me.
no. But, yeah, in America it's capitalism, but
Yeah,
over here it was some idiot who thought, yeah, the kids were getting too fat, tax the sugar. Yeah, and
that's it. That's all up to the parents, man. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, yes, the parents um should be doing this, and a lot of parents aren't. But it's still it's up to the parents to fucking
exactly. With a lot of things, it's always up to the parents, but unfortunately, a lot of parents nowadays want to blame other people.
yeah.
You know, like the video game thing and violence. It's like, just don't let your kid buy it for fuck's sake. You
Yeah,
know, don't
it's
buy it for
it's
your
fucking
kid.
simple.
That's what an age rating's for.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's
If you're
like,
too lazy to actually look at what your kid's doing
well,
and
exactly.
interacting with,
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
there's a rating. Look at that.
Exactly. I actually had a massive argument ages ago. I think it was when San Andreas, or yeah, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas came out. I
Mm-hmm.
had a go at someone because the kid supposedly did something after playing San Andreas. It's like, why the fuck has your kid got that? Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I think the kid was like 13, and I think over here it had an 18 certificate rating or something like
mm-hmm.
that. And I was thinking, I had said to the person, why does your kid have that? Why did you buy that? Why did you let him buy that? How did he buy it?
Yeah, you shouldn't
Yeah,
even be able to buy it.
exactly. It's the same with like stuff on the internet. Like the little plan to bring out a porn pass for the UK. Fucking thank fuck that died. But there's ways of, you know, stopping your kids from looking at stuff on the internet. Take some
Mm-hmm.
responsibility. You know.
Yeah,
But
I don't get all that. If I were a parent, yeah, I'd be up their ass.
no, exactly. It's like if I was a parent, I would have my router on lockdown to everything except for
Mm-hmm.
stuff that I want to watch when I have if I've got a password for it, or do
Plus,
what I want.
have the computer where it's in a public space in the house where everybody's at, so
Mm.
you can always see what they're fucking doing.
Yeah, well, but the introduction of tablets is a bit harder to do it now. I think.
True.
Yeah,
Don't
there's
buy him
always
a fucking tablet.
well, you can always lock that. You can always put the tablet into like a parental mode, if I remember correctly. So especially for was it Apple stuff?
Well, the thing is, to me, it's like it's not even just what they're watching or looking at;
Mm.
it's who they're interacting with as well.
Well, yeah.
You got to be careful of that as well. So there's plenty of predators out there,
Oh,
especially
exactly.
nowadays when the pedophiles are getting so fucking like, yeah, I'm a pedophile. They're just coming out of the fucking closet,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
being
That's one of
protected
the
by dumbasses.
yeah. That's one thing. Like political wise, and the whole fucking acceptance movement shite. It's like fucking saying that fucking pedo should be fucking accepted. It's like, no, no,
Yeah.
that's not gonna fly in this country. I know that for a fact. Yeah.
I'm under the thought process that okay, um, you're a non-offending pedophile. I will accept that that is your sexuality, and you can't, you didn't decide this, and it's got to be fucking hard as shit
Mm.
to be, have that as your sexuality. It's got to make life really fucking hard. But I will never accept you ever being around a child.
Oh yeah. Well, my whole thing with that is like, if you're a non-offender, get help.
hmm
Seriously, it's back in the day, in some ancient time, it could have been acceptable, but not now. Not how civilization has evolved.
No.
It's socially unacceptable. And
well, back in the day, people didn't live as long.
Oh yeah.
So children had an extremely hard life to begin with. They had to be, adults, at a very young age.
Yeah.
So that, it's like okay, they weren't so innocent back then.
Mm.
So it's I still wouldn't accept it, but it makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah. Well, yeah. As society has evolved over the years, it's become wholly unacceptable, and it should always remain unacceptable.
It should. It
Yeah.
definitely should.
Exactly. So I would, I would put it out there, anytime that if you're a non-offending or a person that, has feelings for young children, get help. It's not, well, it's one of those, it's fucking one of those horrible fucking situations. It's just, it's just get help. It's
Yeah.
not like it's not good for society that because it can turn from a non-offender to an offender just like that.
Yeah.
Just one little thing can click in a person's mind, and that's it.
And those sexual, for anybody, not being able to indulge your sexual urges for an excessively long period of time becomes maddening.
Exactly.
Or just an average person. So yeah, they either get help and find ways to get around it that are still not child porn, or they're going to eventually offend.
Oh yeah.
They'll eventually break.
Well, yeah, this is the thing. It's a ticking time bomb that should not be there. It should just get help. It's just no two ways about it. Just get help. For yourself and society, just get help. As in some respects, me myself, I haven't had a relationship in 5 years. Nothing in between, literally. And
I've done that.
I would like to think that I could never rape a person or anything like that. Hell, just the thought of it makes me ill.
Yeah.
But there are people out there that just need one thing to snap, and that's it. They'll can turn from being a nice bloke to a nasty scumbag.
Yeah. It kind of surprises me, speaking of that, kind of surprises me that Elliot Rodger ended up doing what he did.
Elliot Rodger. I've heard the name, but
he was a YouTuber. And he's like one of the first, incel types out there. But he thought, and he never got laid. He was only early college. So he was still, 18, 19 or something. And he hadn't gotten laid. And he was so obsessed with it.
Yeah.
That it drove him mad. And he would make these videos about how, these women aren't giving me sex. How dare they not give me sex?
Yeah,
they'll give these, other guys sex, but they won't give it to me. Thinking it was, wasn't his fault. It was somebody else's fault. And then he ended up, he killed a number of people. Not as many people as he wanted to and planned to. His plan was shit.
Yeah.
But he did end up killing a number of people.
Jeez.
But it kind of, it's not... Obviously, I'm very, very against rape, but it seems about why didn't he rape somebody?
Yeah.
I mean, you're already obviously mentally fucked in the head, dude.
Yeah, I think
why kill?
I think when you get to that kind of point, and it's hard to even think about what a person might be thinking and feeling in that particular time. That's just a weird one. That one, I can't even put myself in that kind of mindset.
Yeah.
Just because I find it reprehensible. To my core. No, it just gives me the heebie-jeebies just thinking about it. It's just like, I haven't had any, but I would never think. I'd like to think I would never think like that. Hell, I've got other things to be getting on with rather than thinking about it all the time. But if you're thinking about it all the time, then something's got to snap.
I mean, I know that it does happen with women as well, but we don't snap like that.
Yeah.
But it will drive us crazy as well sometimes, depending on, I guess, your personal level of what's the term? Need for sex. Like everybody has a different level of need. So I mean, women, it's a little bit less. Not all women, but women, it's a little bit less than men. So it's like, I know how it feels for as a woman to be, to get that mindset where it's driving you crazy that you haven't gotten laid. But it's like men tends to, the only thing I can assume, put it that way, because I'm just making an assumption. I don't know, and I'm not going to paint, a broad brush on men at all in any way, shape, or form. But it seems to be a bigger thing for men. And it drives them a little bit more crazy than it does women for, the types that would be driven crazy by it.
Possibly. I can only ever speak from my own experience that I don't think I feel the need for that anymore. Well, not as much anymore as I used to, probably when I was about 18 to 25. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But nowadays it's like I had a bad marriage and it's kind of put me off the whole fucking thing, to tell you the truth.
I understand.
And it's just instead of thinking about that stuff, I fill my days with anything I can, just not to think about that stuff. You know,
now it's just your 3D printer.
Oh yeah, freaking! I've got more bloody troubles with my 3D printer. Why would I want a woman in my life?
That goes back to, I don't understand people who want multiple partners.
Yeah, that's.
I understand. I would like to have a girlfriend because that part of me is not being fulfilled.
Go get one.
But I haven't been able to find one. So well, I understand that.
For a multiple partner.
I want a woman in my life too, but but that would just be a girlfriend. That wouldn't be like, actually having like a polygamous relationship. I don't get like the men that want, because it's the majority of the time it's men. But there are women who want this, but the majority are men, and they want like, marrying all these women. And it's like, why take sex out of the equation here? Why the fuck would you want to deal with that many fucking people?
Yeah.
That you have to emotionally satisfy as well.
Is it like Pokemon syndrome? You got to catch a ball or something? I've never got it.
I don't know. I think, having one person that you're married to, that you've got to deal with and try to satisfy and make happy, is hard fucking enough.
Oh, yeah.
Wanting multiple seems... do you want your life to be turmoil?
Stags, I don't want to know about you spanking the monkey, dude.
You never had the urge to drink and you're good? Yeah, I've gone years and years without sex because I got to a point where I forget. I think I was like 21 or something, and my dad actually said, "I'm a bit worried about you," and I'm like, "What? Why? What are you worried about?" And he's like, "I'm a little worried that you're not going out there trying to get laid." He's like, "That's the normal thing for people your age," and I'm kind of worried that you're not doing that. I was like, well, it's just, what am I supposed to do? Just take anything? No thanks,
yeah. It's gotta be, it's pretty messed up when your parents are starting to comment.
Yeah. But what? I just kind of said, well, it's not like I'm not trying, man. I really wasn't trying. I was just like, yeah.
When I was younger, it was a point of, no one wanted me. But then again, I wasn't really looking when I was younger.
Yeah.
I only met my missus, well, my ex-missus, because she worked in a shop a few doors down from me.
Oh.
But yeah, if going back to time travel, if time travel was a thing, I would definitely go back and say no.
I understand. Yeah, if there's things we could change, yeah, that'd be. Yeah, there's a few things I would change relationship wise that I've dealt with in the past. Oh yeah, I wasted 8 years with one motherfucker.
I've wasted, well, my ex, I wasted 14 years.
Oh God.
Yep.
Yeah, we have to look at it differently. It wasn't a waste. We learned different things from our experiences, so we got something out of it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I have mixed feelings about all of it. I'm still dealing with it, even 5 years afterwards. It's horrible state of affairs.
Oh man.
Yeah, but it didn't end nice, and it was. I had mental issues and shit like that, so yeah, it was really, really bad.
Yeah, that never makes things any better.
Yeah, we did try and still be friends, but yeah, I had pretty much a full on mental breakdown. Yeah, not something I'm proud of.
Well, when it comes to mental issues, you can't really be proud or not or embarrassed by. I mean, you can have that natural reaction to it because that's just human to be embarrassed by or upset by a mental thing that happens to you, but it's an actual misfiring in your brain that's happening, and that's not your fault. That's nothing you can control. So people with mental issues, it's like you can't actually blame them because it's not like anybody would choose to have a mental issue.
Yeah.
I got into this discussion about suicide with somebody the other night.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like you can't blame that person. I'm sorry, you can't. I know people get pissed off, like, oh, I'm so angry at them. They killed themselves and they didn't get help and all this shit. And I'm just like, it's not their fucking fault.
Yeah.
Seriously, think about it. Think about what you have to be, the mindset that you have to be in, the amount of pain you have to be in to actually do it.
Yeah.
That's you can't blame them.
Yeah,
and you shouldn't be angry at them because I'm sorry, people have to deal with their own shit any which way they can.
Yeah,
it's not a mirror to other people.
Exactly. It's like, I must admit, I have been to that dark side of depression where I've tried to take my own life countless times, especially I'd say like the last 5 years. And it's to people that say, "Oh, get help," or like, or don't understand. It's like, you won't understand until you're literally there.
Yeah.
Until you've got a knife to your vein, or you've got a bottle of pills ready to get it down, or a gun to your head. You will not understand it till it happens.
No, it's impossible to understand. I mean, I've gotten very close to that point. I'm lucky in the sense that I have such an irrational fear of afterlife that that's what kept me from doing it, is that irrational fear. So yay phobia. But the knowledge of how that felt and imagining actually being able to do it, how they actually have to be feeling to actually do it, that's like, I kind of feel like I understand, dude. You couldn't take it anymore, and you now have peace.
Yeah.
Like, I would never suggest somebody to commit suicide, and like, please don't.
No, definitely not. It's I will, if I could ever help someone in the situation that I was in a few years back, I would help them no matter what. It's just like, I know help is not always easy to receive when you're going through all of that. So me myself, I came through it all by myself, thankfully.
Yeah.
there was no. It was just a slow process of healing. You know, and trying to keep my mind occupied and not thinking about shit. But
Yeah.
I know how difficult it is, and hell, I'm still not 100% over that sort of stuff. So I continuously know what it's like.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, if I could help anyone in that situation, I would, just because I know how it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
But
having to
that,
be in hospital getting blood transfusions because you slit your wrists is not a good thing, and not one I want to, not one I
no.
want to fucking replay. What's it replay?
Yeah, the repercussions of it didn't work.
Mm.
Yeah, those can be pretty fucking severe and not happy situations.
Exactly. I had to go through a few. Well, I had to go through a few years of therapy before I cancelled it because it wasn't doing me any good, and I was doing better on my own. But yeah, it's like just the sort of stigma attached to it is not great. Having people at work look at you in a funny way because they found out that you tried to do something like that is not great.
And I would imagine. I find it sad that so many people, like the large percentage of humanity, has an inability to see things from another person's point of view.
Yeah.
And I find that sad. I mean, I always strive to see things from the other person's point of view.
Yeah. I
Doesn't
think
mean I'm still going to agree with it, but
yeah, I think it's mostly a lack of imagination in
yeah.
some respects. It's just I can fully envision myself in certain people's shoes, but there are limits.
Yeah, there's certain limits there.
Yeah, definitely. But
Plus, there's
yeah,
that need that people have that it's either this or this, black or white. It's like, no,
exactly.
reality is everything is gray.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, it's. Mm.
We're getting all serious here.
Yeah.
We're talking about, we started with cryptozoology and we've gone into real serious topics here.
Yeah, I what's it? Yeah, with the whole cryptozoology, it's going to be quite a big series. Yeah, I'm hoping it'll be a success.
I hope so. I'm definitely going to back you and support you. And I mean, I'm not a big channel, but
Well, I have a long way to go because it's not only just the videos I'm making. I'm going to try and make the armor that my avatar wears,
mhm.
like a
Ooh.
full chest and arm piece.
Oh, geez, you're going all the fuck out with
Yeah,
this.
so what you see as my avatar is what I'll be wearing for my videos in the future, hopefully, except for maybe the glowing eyes, because
Oh,
I ain't putting anything in my eyes. Fuck that.
yeah, you'll fuck up your eyesight in the long
Yeah.
run. Yeah, don't do that. But damn, that's gonna be fucking impressive. I can't wait. That's gonna be.
Definitely. Yeah, what's it? I'm gonna try and get some kind of try and sort of alter my voice so it's a bit more robotic and have holograms and all sorts of shit happening. So not to the point of poison the world sort of level, but kind of close. Something I can replicate from video to video.
Mm-hmm. Well, that would be cool.
Yeah, but that's gonna be a while yet. So I've still got to figure out how I'm gonna do my character and shit like that for videos. I've still got to learn how to edit stuff because I still don't know how to do that shit yet.
It's not that. I mean, well, I don't know. With what you're wanting to do, yeah, you're gonna have like I just use Movie Maker because I do very simple shit. So I just use Movie Maker. But what you're trying to do, you're gonna need to have a really good editing software, and they are kind of confusing.
Yeah, I've got Adobe Premiere and After Effects and all that lot ready to go. So I just need to learn how to use that shit.
Yeah. I tried one of these. It was a free one, but it was like Adobe Premiere. It was like supposed to be the best free one, and my computer just is shit and couldn't keep up with it. So I couldn't edit properly because my computer couldn't handle the playback.
Yeah,
So
even my computer, and my computer's a fucking beast, but it still has problems with playback. It crashes every now and again. So I think that's the fault of the program, letting it,
that's what Ninja says. Ninja says it's Windows just it sucks.
Oh yeah.
That Windows just can't handle, complicated packets and shit or whatever.
Yeah.
Not up with all the
Windows
jargon.
is shit for editing stuff. I think that's that's the one good thing for Apple stuff. For editing music and videos and stuff, it's actually pretty good. But I'll be damned if I fucking own a fucking Apple computer. That's for pansies.
Yeah, I tried. My dad gave me his old iPad. Yeah, it was the editing software on there was I personally say worse than Movie Maker.
Yeah,
It's supposed to be better, but no, motherfucker, it's not better.
All of that is complete garbage. Yeah, the stuff on the computers is supposed to be really good, but it's not something I'm gonna ever try out. For all its faults, I'm a Windows man.
Yeah, well, Ninja's he's a Linux man.
I think I was thinking about putting Linux on this computer, but in its current state, I think it'll blow up on me if I do that.
Well, he claims, not that he ever edited anything, but he claims that the editor that comes with Linux is way fucking better than all this other shit. I'm just like, okay, I'll wait until, which it does actually look like, he showed it to me, and it does look like the same kind of setup that Adobe Premiere is.
Yeah.
So maybe it is really good. I don't know, but I haven't used his computer.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see if there's a way I can dual boot this system so I can use Linux and Windows at the same time.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do, because you can do it. But he says that it's a bit, you have to be very careful, like while you're doing it. If there's a certain period of time frame where you have to pay really close attention, then if you don't do something right, then it's just gonna fucking blow up your Windows.
Yeah,
then you'll lose it and everything you had.
Yeah, that's my sort of scare if I do something stupid and it fucks up.
Yeah, that's why I haven't let him do it on my computer. I'm like, I don't want to lose everything I already have. That thing.
Well, no, I have to go, unfortunately, because I've got work tomorrow.
I understand. I'm sure it is rather late there.
Yeah, it's about coming up to 11 o'clock, and I've got to get up at 6.
Oh, I don't miss that shit.
Just FYI, coming soon, there's going to be a version of Linux that Windows owns.
A version of Linux that Windows owns?
Yeah, it's going to look exactly like Windows, but it's going to be Linux.
That should be interesting.
Microsoft has bought the rights to a version of Windows. I don't know which one it is. I think it's Cherry Pop.
Mm-hmm.
And they're reworking it to look exactly like Windows and do everything Windows does, but it'll be...
Ooh.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
But they're going to fuck it up.
You think everybody's going to fuck with everything. Jeez.
I hate fucking Windows.
I know you fucking hate Windows.
Dealing with Windows for over 10 years, fuck them.
He's very opinionated.
Oh no, trust. If we'll see if I could turn my computer into Linux, I would, but I don't think my computer could survive that at the moment. It's janky as it is.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, but yeah, it lets me play games. That's all I care about.
I can't even fucking play games on mine. I downloaded, I actually bought a game and downloaded Islands, and yeah, my computer can't deal with it. Can't fucking play it.
Well, so far I haven't come across a game my computer can't run at full spec. So, yeah.
Lucky bastard.
I'm a happy chappy.
Yeah.
I am thinking about buying the new Fallout game. I've even put it as a poll, and I'm thinking Bacon so far is winning.
Of course it is.
Yeah, so yeah,
everybody loves bacon that eats meat.
So the money I would have spent on the game, I will buy that amount in bacon.
Nice.
So I'm gonna have about £60 worth of bacon in my fridge and freezer.
Oh, you lucky bastard.
Oh yeah.
Ninja might have to fly to England just to steal all your bacon.
No, you ain't coming through my door and nicking my bacon. I've got my combat spatula ready. You ain't gonna touch my bacon. No one touches the bacon.
Nobody. Sacred pig.
Too right.
Yeah, why are cows sacred? Pigs should be sacred. They're the source of bacon.
Oh yeah, too right. And they're cute when they're younger.
I'm sorry, Stags, if you're still here. I'm sorry. I know you're a vegetarian. But yeah, we're not gonna. We're done. Okay.
Well, thanks for having me on.
Well, thanks for coming on. I'm glad we finally got to do this.
No worries.
And yeah, you're welcome to come on again. If there's anything you want to talk about?
Definitely. Well, hopefully when I start getting my videos out, then definitely.
Awesome. Because yeah, I'll probably want to talk about some of the shit. Because I like to have off the wall topics. You know, it'll branch out into other topics as well, always. But yeah, I like the different kinds of topics. I don't want to do the drama channel or the look at the SJWs. You know,
I'm always up for crazy.
Nice, crazy is awesome.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So anybody who's watching, thank you so much for watching. Check out Triaxe, sub for future excellent videos. And yeah, his channel is in the description. And you can also follow him on Twitter. Same name, I believe, is your actual at.
At Triaxe666, yeah.
Yep. So follow him on Twitter. And as usual, Wednesday will be the Misfit stream with Trevor, where we'll do our usual, you know, fuck, marry, kill, and then talk about crazy, weird shit. Something inappropriate will always happen. So hopefully I'll see some of you then. And yeah, thanks for coming. Bye.
Bye.